men, and I use the term loosely. Going to do follow-up to last Sunday's video on Colony head bolts. A lot of good comments, sparked a lot of interest apparently, so I'm going to try to address that. I got one commenter says, excellent video, informative, and then he says, I hope the manufacturer concerned takes steps to rectify the problems. Yes, I have been talking to an engineer at Colony, and he says they're working on it. They apparently in-house could test, their own hardness and things like that, I guess. But from talking to him, I gather that they don't have a way to test bolts in situ. And by that I mean on an actual head and on an actual cylinder. He was going to work with a local shop to test some head bolts under actual conditions like you and I would be installing them. What the result of that is, I don't know. But yes, he said they were going to try a couple of things. Whether they're ever going to get back to me, let me know what they did for sure, I don't know. But he said they're taking it seriously and they're working on it. Somebody else wanted to know if I'm putting moly or oil on the head bolt threads and under the head bolt. Yes, that makes a difference. The book says that these are lube torque values, so you should use a lube. I use anti-seize, and yes, you should also put it under the head of the bolt. Any tightness in the hole, the bolt hole, is detracting from the torque value. If it takes, and I'm just making numbers up, 20 foot-pounds just to get it through the threads because the threads are tight or dicked up or whatever, and you tighten it to 65, well, you really haven't tightened it to 65. You've tightened it to 45 because 20 pounds of that was just fighting the friction to get the bolt into the hole. So yes, I do lube torque on them. I'm not real careful about getting it under the bolt head and the washer. However, I'm fairly sloppy with the lube, so some of it does get under the bolt heads. And just to FYI, pretty much every threaded hole on every engine I rebuild, I chase the threads. I'm the kind of guy who believes you should be able to screw a bolt in with your fingers, and if you can't screw it with your fingers, there's something wrong with the threads that need to be addressed. So that takes the friction in the threads out of the equation. Chase the threads, make sure they're clean, make sure the bolt goes in easily, put lube on it, and that way your torque value is the honest torque value. This guy asks, are 1038 CO Colony old stock from the buyout? I'm not sure which buyout he's referring to. However, in talking to an engineer, I believe that the bolts that are stamped 1038 CP, the Colony head bolts, are new manufacturer that are just stamped 1038 CP. I think Colony manufactures them. I don't think they're a byproduct of any buyout. Yeah, another guy always thought Colony made a good product. I don't know. Another guy wants to know about heat treating. Believe me, I'm no heat treater. I don't have the kind of equipment it takes to do it legitimately. You need to have an oven that you could bring it up to a calibrated temperature, hold it there for X number of minutes or whatever, and mine is strictly, backyard, rough, guessing. I mean, educated guess, but I've got a infrared heat gun. You look at the color of the bolts, the color of the metal turns, and you go for it. Yes, the washers should be hard, and one guy noticed I didn't talk too much about it in the video, but some of the washers that I got from Colony, they just basically they disintegrated long before 65 foot-pounds. The head of the bolt would just pull through the washer and split it open. The washers need to be hardened too. As a matter of fact, when I first noticed that, I actually thought that the washers they gave me were made out of aluminum, but they were in fact steel. They were just that soft. And here's another commenter. I would much rather pay more for a quality product than a budget item that is going to break. Absolutely. I do most of the work around the house that needs to get done, work on the bikes, truck, the car. I do pretty much all of it myself. But every once in a while I get a guy who, something I just can't handle. And people will say to me, they say, I'll do it real quick for you. I don't want you to do it real quick for me. I want you to do it real good. And if it's going to cost me some extra money, give me that option. You could say, I'll do it quick and shitty for $200, or I'll do it quick and good for $300. I might just spend the $300. Yes, I got a comment from Tin Man. These are those parts I look for in greasy, dirty cardboard boxes at swap meets. Yeah, I hear you with that. I don't go to a lot of swap meets anymore, but I used to be the guy picking through the piles of moldy old hardware spread out on a tarp on the floor. That's where the good stuff is. And I'll take a stock Harley head bolt over one of the aftermarket ones any day, except for maybe ARP. Okay, here's another guy new to wrenching, seeing how much the torque wrench moved while doing the increments was very valuable. And yes, it is. You should pay attention to that, because if you get a bolt that just wants to continue to twist, you're just stretching a bolt. You're not adding any torque to it. You're just stretching a bolt. I got another viewer says that he's heard Colony had problems with head bolts. Once again, the angular amount is very useful. It pays to be aware of the angle amount when tightening any fastener. I think Harley went with the 12-point head bolt around 1973. Yes, 73 is correct. The 72s are the first years of the 1000s, but those bikes use the 6-point 900cc head bolt on them. Thank you for asking for a quality product. Another guy says stock is best. Yes, they are. One of the guy, and I can't find a comment right now, I had read a previous comment where a guy had found from McMaster Carr some 12-point grade 8 black oxide head bolts. Those would be perfect, and that's a great idea. And I may look those up and get some. A couple of comments about where they are made. Colony is made in the United States. I do believe they machine their own bolts over there. From what I gather from the engineer I talked to, they send them out to get hardened and then bring them back in and CAD plate them, or have somebody CAD plate them. I didn't get into it with them where they actually do it at. Another guy here tells me everybody's bitching about quality of parts, and yes, I've seen some automotive channels where guys are bitching about it. And they say spark plugs seem to be a big issue. I haven't heard that. I don't know. On the bikes that I build, generally speaking, they're going to have points or magnetos, and I use Autolite 216s. Not that that's right or not that that's wrong. That's just what I use, and they seem to work just fine. Another guy said I need to send this video in its entirety to Colony. Yes, Colony got a sample while I was making the video. I was giving them a heads up. I gave them an opportunity to comment back. They did not. When the video was done, I emailed them with the link to the finished video on YouTube, so they have access to everything you had access to. Another commenter, we're all tired of the poor quality of parts we're getting. Yes, we are. And what I say to all of you is write a letter, give them a call, send them an email, and bitch. I do appreciate the fact that these aftermarket people are making it possible to keep these old bikes on the road. But, if the parts are junk, the parts are junk. They need to be held accountable and be made aware that their stuff is no good. I would expect that some of these outfits order 1,000 or whatever from some outfit overseas, and either there's no QA on site overseas checking it, or they get back 1,000 or whatever and they check an arbitrary one out of the batch, and if it's good they call it good to go. That's not sufficient. They need a more regimented QA procedure, I suppose. If Colony was, I got those 4 batches of new head bolts, and arbitrarily the first 2 I tested broke, just randomly, 2 bolts and they busted. If Colony was checking 1 out of 8, they probably discovered a problem, you know. And of course, if they check them and they break, well, they were obviously no damn good. But yeah, they should be checking them, you know, they should. Oh, here's the guy. Yeah, Joe. McMaster car has the 12-point flange, 7/16 20 bolt, black oxidized and tensile strength of 170,000 pounds. Yeah, that would be good. I'm gonna look those up. Those sound like they would be very nice to use. I'm definitely gonna check those out. I appreciate it. So I found the bolts on McMaster car. Unfortunately, they're only available up to 3 inches at McMaster car. So they'll work on a 900s, but they won't work on a 1000s because on a 1000cc motor, you need 3.5. But yeah, this is definitely a good option. One of the other commenters early on said he was using H9. And H9, I believe, is a naval grade of bolt. Yeah, the H9s, I'm sure, are overkill, and they're probably priced accordingly, but hey, why not? And yes, very strong stuff. Well, here's another guy. This is interesting. He says, I was thinking randomly pulling a couple of bolts from those 4 packages won't be enough. I was wrong. That's all it took to see they were total shit. That's scary. Oh, I was going to send this video to Colony headquarters, but it sounds like they've seen part of it. Yes, they have for sure seen part of it. I did call the engineer after I made a link to a private video available to him, and he acknowledged that they did see it, yes. A question, where were they made? And yes, they were made by Colony in Ohio. Another viewer commented on my testing. No, it's not scientific. It is, however, real-world use. And yeah, that's, you know, what I go for. Was it the strict scientific environment? No, but, you know, guys putting an engine together, how I install those bolts is how most people are going to install them. So, yeah, that I think covers it. You know, basic highlights. Bolts are made in America. They are Colony. Oh, and I was going to comment on the alloy. When Harley has the head bolt stamped 1038 CP, I stated in the video that 1038 CP is the alloy and CP stood for Chandler Products. When Colony stamps the 1038 on there, it's not the alloy. It's just what they stamp on there to duplicate the Harley markings. The Colony engineer told me that they made theirs out of 1137. And if you Google alloy 1038 and alloy 1137, you will see that both of them are suitable for making bolts. Maybe the problem is Colony shouldn't be using 1037. Maybe they should be using 1038. Harley used 1038 and it was good enough. Anyway, my comments on that. One other thing, I'll show you the head bolts that I like to use on a 900. Although they're pretty pricey, like 90 or 100 bucks for the 8 of them, so they're $12 each. But ARP, those bolts are excellent. Let me show you. Yeah, here's the ARP head bolts I install on my 900. And very good bolts. These have been in there for a long time. The heads have been off a couple times, so they've been torqued and retorqued and torqued and retorqued. No problem whatsoever with them. So yeah, these are good bolts. Like I say, pricey but good. And there's one of my Autolite 216 spark plugs. Work very well with the magneto. All right, I'm going to wrap this up. I really do wish I would hear from Colony at some point in the future. And believe me, if they contact me, I'll let you know. You guys will be the second to know after me. I'll tell you whatever it is they tell me. You know, one would hope that they take this seriously. They've got the evidence, so hopefully they'll figure something out and get it done. And thinking about it, maybe the key really is they should switch alloys from 1137 to 1038, make it the same as Harley, harden it the same amount, and you know, they should be just fine. Anyway, I'm out of here. Thank you all ever so much for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye. Men, if you like this channel and this content, the single most important thing you could do to help grow this channel is to hit the subscribe button. I also have new design coffee cups and stickers available. You know, I like the old coffee cups, but I like these new ones even more. Links are included in the description down below. And for those of you who really want to go the extra mile, you could join me on Patreon. Link is also included in the description down below. And to all of you who have watched these videos, I'd like to say thank you. Thank you very much. I really, really do appreciate it. We'll see you next time. Bye.